We're moving into a time now where the feminine energy on the planet is actually getting a chance to come to the fore. The divine feminine has been working in her power by birthing every single human being on the planet, often raising them single-handedly in a very predominantly masculine state. So I started in the West on a masculine land. The land was masculine, and I currently live in the southern hemisphere, and the land is feminine. And I have seen the shift between the chakras and the north and south hemispheres, the poles, the compass poles, and the dynamic of the people and the energy that they bring is confirming for me that the divine masculine time has come for them to soften. And what we've been doing is the divine masculine has been softening and the divine feminine has been strengthening in the old paradigm. Okay? So the divine feminine was reaching out, and she was working for a living, and she was raising kids, and she was, having a power job and being self-sufficient. She didn't need a man. And then the masculine was able to take his foot off the pedal and not work so hard, or hard, what does that mean? He was able to sort of say, okay, I want to stay at home with my kids, or he was a single dad, and maybe choose more counselling services or softer jobs rather than the mechanic and the builder. These are really generalizations, but the masculine was softening. However, what this actually, because it was inside the 3D paradigm, there's a lot of mocking of these men as being weak and soft, or they've perhaps gone too far into gender explorations, let's say. And the feminine had gone too far masculine. She was running her business, or she was raising her kids on her own, and it was a very aggressive, I've done it myself, it was a very aggressive, it wasn't feminine. So when we take these divine masculine and divine feminine and move them into the 5D, which is what's happening now, the divine feminine is holding the space for the man. The divine feminine is holding the space for the man to empower the woman. And he does that by his own softening. So he realizes that he is strong, he is masculine, and what he does is he creates that space for the feminine to follow her career, follow her life. The woman bears the children and births every single individual on this, every single soul on this planet. She is the messenger, the carrier from the divine into the human. She is the goddess. So we're taking that energy from the priestess, which was magic and mystery, into a very similar goddess energy. The goddess was quite ungrounded, but she's moving into the priestess. I said that the wrong way around. Sorry, I think I've got something crawling up my leg. And she is no longer in the shadow of things like the victim, which was the goddess, or the shadow, the dark, which was the sorceress, and she's moving into the priestess. She has that ability to pull on all the energies of the universe, as she does for bringing the child into the human form, and she does it with responsibility and care and nurturing and love, lots of love for humanity. The male role is to hold a space for the woman to do that. So he may be to the side and just maybe half a step back on some occasions. So he builds these shelters, he holds these spaces, he protects her from unwelcome invitations or predators, if you want. He also has his superpower of becoming less of a magician, which was in the shadow, and more into a mastery. So often mastery is what I've said before about energy, is you don't have to move. What your energy does the speaking. So the more he knows who he is without having to say who he is. He's an empowered man, and this takes a lot of humble work on the ego, especially in the paradigm that that society puts us in, that the man is dominant. And like I say, I was in the West and now I'm in the Southern Hemisphere, and I've seen both dynamics playing out. And it's time now for the divine feminine to hold her space and hold her energy and hold that nurturing, not in a rescuing manner, but just to stay still and allow the man to heal. He has to let go of this world that didn't allow him to cry, this world that told him he had to succeed, he had to have lots of money, he had to have a big house. What does succeed actually mean? You know? And raising a family together and recognizing that a healthy, happy woman is actually the success story of a divine masculine. So this is a subject that I've just touched on just now, but we've been playing this divine masculine, divine feminine in the old paradigm, and what we're actually doing is we're taking this into the new paradigm, and the men are in touch with their emotions without or whilst empowering the women. Okay, so they don't sleep around, they choose a partner, they're very loyal, they're very consistent, they stick to their word, their ego is humble, they're willing to come to the table and discuss things, and everyone's needs are met. And the divine feminine holds the space for the man to explore what he needs to explore. Okay, so these are just things I've just touched on so far, but we're only now beginning this journey of bringing the divine feminine to her full power so that the man can start his journey. We haven't been in the balanced divine masculine and divine feminine yet, because we were in the 3D paradigm of duality. So he's the breadwinner, she stays at home and cooks. Or then it flipped over to the other side where she was really masculine and she was going out to work and running a business and he was staying home. It never quite found its balance. There's a reason why men have got big muscles, and there's a reason why women have the ability to birth the children, and we have to respect these as well and work with them in harmony. Okay, it's not a weakness to know how to look after your family, and it's not a weakness to let the magic of and the power that a woman has to connect to nature shine through and provide for her in a natural way. Okay.